Good morning. Welcome to Monday Motivation with Priscilla Wilkinson. You may not know this about me, but I am a foodie. I love to eat. I love trying new foods. I love going out to eat. When I travel, I don't care where in the world I am. I want to try the local foods. I want to try new things. But let me tell you something. As a foodie, you recognize when something is not the real deal. You recognize oftentimes when someone is trying to take a recipe and make it healthier or try something new. It's not quite the same. For example, one of the things I remember about my childhood are homemade biscuits from scratch. Both my grandmothers made wonderful biscuits from scratch. You all know what I'm talking about, right? With that lard. Some of you may not even know what lard is. But they were rolled out and those biscuits were flaky and wonderful and awesome. And yes, you can buy Mary B biscuits now or the Pillsbury Grands. Your mother might cut them from the dough that they roll out, but there is nothing like the old-fashioned biscuits that were made from scratch. Another thing I remember was fresh fish. I grew up on the Eastern Shore, and we would go out and purchase fish that was caught that morning, come home, it would be cleaned and fried. And you'd have that piece of fresh fish on a piece of white bread, picking out the bones and everything, but that was the best fried fish. You can't find that anymore because now everything is made just a little bit different. I'm not saying it's not good, but it's not the real deal. It's like that spiritually. Many times today in the church, we are taught things that sound good. And if we haven't done anything for ourselves, studied for ourselves, we accept what is taught to us as the real deal when in fact it is not. Many churches today have a focus on finances, on personal finances, on getting this and getting that. They're not focused on the real deal. The real deal is Jesus Christ. You see, you can have a religion that sounds right. It may look right, but it's not the real deal. Psalm 34:8 says, "Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who trusts in him." See, some of you think that you know the Lord, but you don't because you are reliant on something that is not real. 2 Timothy 4:3 said there would come a time when people will not put up with sound doctrine. Instead, to suit their own desires, they will gather around them a great number of teachers to say what their itching ears want to hear. So in other words, you're not hearing the truth. You're hearing what makes you comfortable, right? It's not the real deal. Let me tell you something. Our faith, if you really want to know what the real deal is about our faith, it is not about religion. It is about a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. We oftentimes don't really want the real deal. See, the real deal requires some work on our part. To make those biscuits back in the day, you didn't just pop something out of the freezer, pop it in the oven, and 20 minutes later, you have biscuits. It took work. To have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, it takes work. And guess what? It's not about you. It's about him. And many times we don't want to hear that. We want to hear those things that sound good to us. But there's nothing like the real deal in Jesus Christ. There's no substitute for the real deal. No substitute. Do you want to know who Jesus is? Do you really want a personal relationship with him? Or do you want to sit and just hear about counterfeit religion? Do you just want to focus on those things that are important to you and not really have that really true personal relationship? Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one can come to the Father except through me. So if you really want to live that life, if you really want that personal relationship, you have to have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And there is no substitute. There's no substitute. You understand? Like I said, there's no substitute for my grandmother's biscuits. None. They were the real deal. There's no substitute for Jesus Christ. He is the real deal. I want to encourage you today to get to know Jesus Christ. I want to encourage you to get to know the real deal. Find out who he is. Find out what he can do for you. And I'm going to tell you something. Once you taste and see who the Lord is, you will not want to go back. You will not want to listen to unsound doctrine. Once you taste and see who the Lord is, nothing will be able to replace it for you. Taste and see who the Lord is. Find out about the real deal, the personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Have a blessed, blessed day.